Warren, Illinois District 14. I'm also a member of the Board of Directors for the West Point Society of Chicago, and I graduated in class of '72, back when we used muzzle loaders and black powder. I'm very pleased to be here at St. Edward's again. And I say again, because 2 years ago I got the opportunity to do this, and it pleases me to be able to come back. Are there any fellow veterans in the audience today? If so, would you please stand? The mission of West Point is to educate, train, and inspire the Corps of Cadets so that each graduate is commissioned a leader of character committed to the values of duty, honor, country, and prepared for a career of professional excellence and service to the nation as an officer in the United States Army. As was stated earlier, I'd like to have Evan Finnane join me up here, because he is stepping up for the situation. We do. This year, over 15,000 young men and women applied for West Point. Evan is one of only 1,150 who will start on July 2nd, the class of 2016. Those who are accepted will spend the next 4 years at a beautiful, historic, and demanding place that is unquestionably the world's premier leadership institution. A place with such famous leaders as Eisenhower, MacArthur, Grant, Lee, Patton, Schwarzkopf, and Petraeus. Our history department has a motto. Much of the history we teach was made by those we taught. There are only 2 schools in the nation older than West Point. We've been doing this for 209 years. In addition to leadership, West Point is among the nation's top academic institutions. It offers over 40 academic majors in the sciences and humanities and has produced more Rhodes Scholars than any other college or university in this country except Harvard, Princeton, and Yale. It has also produced more winners of the Hertz Fellowship, the scientific equivalent of the Rhodes, than all other schools except MIT, Stanford, and Princeton. I think we're in good company. I always like to point out that if you add up Annapolis, Air Force, the Coast Guard, and the Merchant Marine, we still win. Inter-service rivalry as well. West Point cadets also undergo rigorous mandatory physical training, leadership development, and moral ethical training to develop those attributes necessary to become a commissioned leader of character as an active duty officer in the United States Army, serving our soldiers, our Army, and our nation. Evan is a great example of the young Americans West Point seeks to lead our soldiers and the Army. They are well-rounded, at the top of their peer group in 3 areas: academics, leadership, and athletics. Academically, the average SAT score for the typical entering class is around 1280. In the leadership arena, almost 90% of the typical class have varsity letters, and nearly 60% are team captains. A significant number were also Eagle Scouts, Gold Award winners, Boys or Girls State reps, or presidents of the class, student body, or club. Evan has demonstrated a high level of achievement in all areas I've mentioned. Upon graduation from West Point, Evan will become a member of the noblest profession in the world, an active duty officer in the United States Army. As an officer, he will be entrusted with the responsibilities of leading your sons and daughters around the world. In these trying times, it is important that we all realize the magnitude of this responsibility, and Evan has proven to date that he has what it takes to succeed at West Point and in our Army. I am confident that Evan will do a great job at West Point. I know he looks forward to joining his brother there. I want to thank St. Edward for both halves of our offensive line. I know that his family and friends and community are already very proud of him. Just ask his dad. On behalf of the President of the United States, my fellow graduates, the long gray line, it gives me great pleasure to present to Evan J. Finnane the certificate of appointment to West Point for class of 2016.